Okay, the next video for our setup of the morning. I'm starting with Lucy now. So I've moved on. We've already done the guys that are over there. We're now moving round, and this will be Lucy and Jeff. So Lucy lives in a mini garden alongside my desk. Sometimes she's still asleep, sometimes you have to find her. She digs herself in. She's just woke up and she's down there. So what we need to do for Lucy first thing in the morning is top up her pond, which again is done with water that's been left standing so that it's room temperature. It's especially important in winter at this time of year where it's nice and hot and sunny, it doesn't matter. And she actually doesn't spend the whole day in here anyway in the summer. So give a good spray to her stuff. We need to be careful to angle the water downwards here, otherwise it sprays across mine and Ellie's desks. This end with the dandelions is her favourite bit and needs the most spraying. Give plants good water, and also by having the plants wet as she comes out for her breakfast, she's taking more water in. On the days when one of the reptile experts is in, she will go for a bath as well. Okay, I need two hands to do what we're going to do to Jeff, because Lucy's home sits on Jeff's and he's behind that blind. So I'm just going to pop this down for a minute. I'll put it there so you can have a look at Lucy's home. Go over there, you can see Lucy having a little rest a minute. So what I'm doing is rolling up Jeff's blind. I'll show you in a minute how it sits. So Jeff's blind's rolled up, and then at the end of Lucy's cage, I'll just show you. There's a box, ignore the tissue, let's move that out of the way. And on that box there's a switch. You switch that and that will switch Jeff's lights on, which means for Jeff it's now morning. Let's go and have a look at him. He's down at ground level so as he can come out to play. He can't come out to play right now because Belle's wandering around. He's up already. Sometimes he's still asleep and he'll be half buried. But he's there, he's looking good. We have a look at his food as well and see that it's still looking nice and fresh, and it is, so he can stay there. Belle's just come over to have a look at him. He's having a bit of a sunbathe and then he usually eats his veggies. If there were a reptile expert in, they would then be looking for poop. I think there might be some down there, and they'd clean that up, and they might be putting some live food in for him, but he doesn't get it every day. No, you don't, you greedy boy. Okay, so that's Jeff. That's where the blind is rolled up, look. That just goes down like that, so it makes him feel warmer and more secure at night. Okay, over to the other side of the room. These are our giant African land snails. They do look quite a mess. There's one, a little walk up the top. So what we're going to do here is open the top carefully, because sometimes there's a snail on it. So these guys like it nice and damp as well. So we give a quick squib like that. This frequently gets replanted because the whole reason for these plants is as snail food. And that there, that you can see that white thing, well, it was white, it's a bit dirty now. It's cuttlefish bone, and it's good for calcium to help them grow good shells. Because these are just babies, they've got a lot of growing to do. They get quite a bit of water on a warm day like it is today. There's 3 of them in there. 2 this sort of size. There's one there. One there. And a little tiny baby. The baby isn't as easy to find. Then we move on to Zim. Zim's fairly new. He's quite young. There he is. We've only just rescued him and he's quite nervous. So he is a Madagascan gecko, and he gets live food, but he doesn't get it every day, and he had some yesterday. A reptile expert will be opening it and spraying him, and once he's settled in, everybody would open it and spray it. I'll show you what we'll do, but we don't want everybody doing this yet. So He's got a bioactive Viv, which means that I've planted it up and we've got it looking really nice. And he's also got insects that will live in there for their whole lifespan, unless Jeff decides their lunch. I can't do it with one hand. So I'm going to pull that down and pull that out at the same time. You know, to be really careful it's not near the front. We open it a little bit. And because he might panic, that's why it's only Reptile. People doing this at the moment. You've got to keep one eye on him. Bit of a squib like that because he likes high humidity. His light should be on up above and there shouldn't be any mouldy food. If you're not a reptile expert and the food down there is looking mouldy, then put a message on the group chat and somebody will come and deal with it. So that's Zim. Now this one doesn't look as good as it should. This is disappointing me because the light went yesterday, so we've got a new bulb coming. This is where our tree frogs, White's tree frogs live, and they live in what is a very spectacular looking Viv when it's fully lit. But at the moment it's not lit, it's lit with a daylight bulb. Let's see if we can see any. It's not easy to see them without the light. I can't see a single one. These guys need really high humidity, so they've got their little pond down there. And we have to make sure that there's nothing floating in it, like this leaf has fallen down. So we're going to get a pair of scissors in a minute and cut that off. All the plants in here are alive. So what we do with these guys is give them a really good spray. You can do this with the door just open a tiny little bit, like that, and put your squibby bottle in like that, so you don't risk losing one. But you do give quite a lot of spray. You might find it easier to do it with a bigger spray bottle for these, because you almost need about half this bottle. And the bigger spray bottle is a pump action one, which is kept on the floor by the African land snails. We'll do it much quicker. Do a little bit on that side. Move over, and that one the same. In this side there's a heater. I think you can just make it out, it's up there, because they have to be kept quite warm as well. They're tropical animals. These guys have live food, but most of it is self-supporting in here. There are colonies of wood lice in the substrate underneath, which I can't really show you because of the light. So that's them. Your last task would be to go up here, and there's 3 Vivs on the top. They've all got various insects in, and they just need a spray of water. And then you're done to just go around and water the plants, which I hope is self-explanatory. After you've done that, you then need to fill all the water bottles and the watering can so it's ready with water that's dechlorinating again. Zim's moved over a bit. Yeah, there he is. Let's just say goodbye to Zim. See you later, mate.